Let's talk about what actually happens when you buy a home in Austin. I'm Jacqueline Roland, your go-to Austin realtor. If you're thinking about moving in the Austin area, reach out to me. I'd love to make your move as smooth and stress-free as possible. And now let's get into the process of buying a home. The first step is to get clear on your goals and what really matters to you. There's 3 things to think about when buying a home: location, condition, and price. And you can only get 2 of those. So in other words, if you want to be in a great location with a great price, then you might have to give in a little bit with the condition. Or if you want a home in great condition in a great location, well, then you're gonna probably have to pay a premium. So just keep that in mind when looking for a home. There is no such thing as a perfect home. But if we can get you 80% of your wants and almost all of your needs, then it's probably a good home to consider, but we're not there yet. So let's go on to step number 2. Step number 2 is to start creating your team of professionals. And you're gonna want a great lender. A lender can make or break a deal, and typically a local lender is better. I can explain that in more detail if that's something that you're interested about. But the second step would be to get a great lender and get pre-approved. It's gonna help you shop confidently, and it gives us a budget and a target, which is gonna help us narrow down neighborhoods and areas to look for your new home. When you do start shopping around, that pre-approval is gonna let sellers know that you're a serious buyer. Even if you're just paying cash, you're still gonna wanna know the closing costs, the tax, insurance, and other costs that are affiliated with buying a home. This one might sound obvious, but it's huge, and that is finding a trusted realtor. Make sure your realtor knows the city inside and out, especially if you're relocating, and that can help navigate you through the entire process, explain things to you clearly, keep you informed but not overwhelmed, and advocate for you at every stage. There's a lot that goes into buying a home. So having an experienced and trusted realtor by your side is going to make your experience that much better and that much more fun. You're not just buying a house. This is one of the biggest financial decisions that you might ever make. So make sure that you have somebody that listens, can educate you, and align with your goals, and somebody that does this full time. Aunt Sally, she just might not be the right person. You want somebody that's experienced to help protect you financially. If you want another video of questions to ask realtors that you're interviewing, drop questions in the comments and I'd be happy to put that together for y'all. Step number 4 is start your house hunting. Now here's where the fun part comes in, when we're gonna actually go review homes and see if they fit your needs. Now this can go several ways. We could start looking at a home and then you realize what you thought you wanted, maybe you don't, and we might have to make some adjustments. Other clients of mine, it could be the first or second home that we walk into and they're like, Jacqueline, is this normal? Like, we want this home. Should we look at more homes? Is that something we should do? And that's where, if you're working with me, I'll make sure to guide you to make sure that we're getting you the best house for you. And then once you find that home that you think you want to move forward on, we'll pull comparables, which is basically homes similar to that home, so we can make sure that you're getting a great price and that the home will appraise. And that will take us to step number 5, and that is making an offer. So we've done our homework, and now together we will come up with pricing and terms that looks favorable to you, but also won't offend the seller, because we do have to compromise some, because you can't buy a house if the seller's not on board. But we'll structure your offer strategically to put you in a position to win without overpaying for the home. Now that we've sent your offer, this is where our negotiation is going to come in, because most likely they're going to counter. They're not going to just take the first offer. I feel like this is the time that's most stressful for buyers, because we have to wait. We have to wait for their counter and then go back. But once we come to an agreement and everybody signed on the dotted lines, we are officially under contract. Now, step number 6 is going to be getting your inspection and your appraisal. So in Texas, we have what's called an option period. And during that option period time, let's say 7 days, everything is negotiable, we're gonna wanna order your inspection. Once we get the inspection back, we're going to renegotiate for repairs. So we can either ask the homeowner to make the repairs, or we can ask for a credit at closing and you can do the repairs once you've closed on the house. When we get the inspection report and it's 40 or 60 pages long, don't worry, the house is not falling apart, but it can be very intimidating. I always tell my clients, F and preach, hear me out. These are the things we're gonna look for, big ticket items. So F stands for foundation, the P is for plumbing, the R is for roof, E is for electric, The AC is for the HVAC, and then the H is for heater. Those are the big ticket price items that we really want to look for when we get our inspection back. Once we make those negotiations with the owner, then we can get past our option period. So the first 7 days is a little hectic, but after that, it really gets quite quiet. You just need to get your documents over to the lender and stay on top of that. And then we're going to order the appraisal. So I always do an appraisal packet to make sure that hopefully the home will appraise. I've had 99.5% of the homes that we've gone under contract with appraised. What an appraiser is when your lender's bank will send out an appraiser to make sure that the value of the home is worth the value that they're lending you. And if it doesn't make value, well, then we can either back out of the contract, we can renegotiate, or you can pay the difference. But again, 99.5% of the time, appraisals aren't an issue. That is what an appraisal is. Step number 7 is closing day. Closing day is here. Now we just gotta go sign all the papers. It takes about 45 minutes or so. And then you get your keys right after funding, which is usually about 2 hours after signing. Then you are a homeowner. It's very, very exciting time, and everything from start to finish when you go under contract is about 30 days. I know that this was a lot of information, but I want to assure you, if we're working together or whoever you're working with should be holding your hand, be in constant communication of what's happening and what's coming next. So that way the whole process doesn't feel overwhelmed. But back to closing, let's pop the champagne. You are now a homeowner. So the whole process, it could be a lot. It could go very smoothly, or there could be several bumps in the road. But either way, when you get to closing, it's all worth it. I hope that was helpful. Again, I'm Jacqueline Roland, your go-to Austin realtor. And if you're thinking about moving here, whether that's next month or next year, I would love to connect and help make that move as smooth as possible. I also have a buyer's guide in the link below. Feel free to grab that, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye.